And what I would offer there is make sure you write them down, and you have your annual reviews, your biannual reviews. You're talking to your boss all the time, and not to be concerned about saying, well, I helped do that. I made
Hmm.
sure this happened, using I statements, which we don't do in the military. It's
Right.
like, well, the team succeeds, which, the C's there. It's just sometimes from the civilian sector, they just don't see it until you tell them.
Yeah.
And you're getting stuff done, and so you got to make sure that stuff's in your evaluation, as well as you need to make sure that they recognize that.
Right.
And if
And
go ahead.
I'll say when I was like with NCOERs, I was writing NCOERs. I had my own NCOER. When I did things or achievements occurred, I always had like a little notepad that I just had in my Outlook. And when something happened, I just threw it down on there. So I
Right.
was keeping track of all those things. So even if I didn't have quarterly counselings, which I rarely had my quarterly counselings, when it came time for someone to write my NCOER, which was half the time me, you know,
Right.
like
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's a reality we face. You already had a log of those things, but on top of that, day to day, as you're doing things, even if they're small subtasks of a bigger picture task, I would CC my boss or send him an update. And so they just have visibility of what you're doing. If you're going to work
Right.
under a rock, then you can expect to feel like you've got a rock on top of you, right? Um,
I like that. That's good.
but visibility, just be
Yep.
public about it. I'm not saying brag about it. Just make sure people are aware of the things that you've done.
Right.
Um, and then look for opportunities for cross department type work. If you can engage with accounting, if you can engage with your engineering department on something, then they also get more face time with you, and they understand who you are
Right.
as a person. And then you develop a reputation as being someone that has value in the
Right.
organization. Like, okay, Bill is a person we should talk to about that.
Somebody they always think about when there's a problem. They think of you as a solution, no
Right.
matter what the problem is. If you don't know the solution, they know somebody that knows the solution,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
that's
Be
how
a
it works.
connector. A connector. Yes,
Connect.
for sure.
And that goes back to the networking skills, and several other things we've talked about today. So, last question: what final piece of advice would you give veterans preparing for transition to civilian life? If they're like, you had like 2 minutes to tell them, you must know these things. What would be those things?
Um, be patient. Be humble. Be friendly. Those and be disciplined. So, and on that, if you are completely out of the military and you are looking for a job, make your job of finding a job your full-time job.
Right.
Establish a schedule of how you're going to run your activities each day. Maybe the first 3 hours are job searching online. The next 2 hours are building network contacts, looking for network opportunities, and then the last 2 hours are going to those network opportunities. Setting up meetings. Just have some type of schedule. It might not be the same day, maybe it's weekly, but and stick to that schedule. Remain disciplined in that search. But don't just rely on just the internet and your laptop. That's not going to get it done. You have to get out. You got to talk to people. It also makes you feel better to get out and have conversations with people. You'll learn from them. You can even just find people that are in the industry you're looking at. They might not be hiring. They say, "Hey, I'd just like to interview you for like 30 minutes and just learn about what you do." Kind of like what's happening right here.
Right.
You just have the conversation and you will learn stuff. And then you get to talk a little bit, and then they're like, "Oh, I remember that guy. He was kind of cool." And then if something pops up, they're going to reach out to you. They'll think of you. They'll wonder what you're doing. So you want to get yourself out there physically, and not just virtually.
Nice. I can appreciate that, and that's what bottom line action. Correct action is more important than activity. So activity, you feel you're doing activity when you're on the internet applying to all these jobs, but that's not productive activity. You need to apply the job, but then the next step of networking to find people who know you, make a personal connection, and have conversations and do that. So, and then
For
just
sure.
to wrap us talk, let's talk a little bit more about Seal Shield. How
Sure.
can people get in touch with you, and if they if they're interested in the products or just
Yep.
networking with your business, what's the best way for them to
Okay.
reach out to you?
If you're interested in the product, it's sealshield.com. Just like my shirt, there's SHIELD.com. If you want to buy some products, do reach out to me. I can probably get you a coupon code and help you out on the pricing. My email address is bill.holmes@sealshield.com, and that's Holmes with an L like Sherlock. So bill.holmes@sealshield.com. I welcome email, and I will be certain to respond. Just make sure you put something in the subject that doesn't look like you're a marketing type salesperson.
Right. That's very
Some of those
important.
get deleted quickly.
Real quick.
I saw you.